everybody, and warm welcome to my channel Tarot by Izabela. I am very happy to see you here, and I hope you're all doing great, even if we live in very active times for the moment. Today's video will be an update video for the country of Canada, and to do this video I'm going to use my quartz crystal ball, my tarot cards, oracle cards, and some dice. But before we begin, I must thank you all, you wonderful viewers, for all of your support to this channel. I am extremely grateful for all your comments, your mails, your sharing, caring. Everything that you do is so wonderful, and I'm so grateful for that. And it really helps to continue doing more videos. Well, what about today's video? I'm going to look into Canada. I have a small map in front of me of the country of Canada. In case I see something special, some place that is that will be easier for me to pinpoint out where that could be. And regarding time frames, time is very difficult to predict on. If I see something that feels very close to me or very lucid, then there is a big possibility that this could come quicker in time. I can only give you an approximate. There could be delays. It could even come sooner in time if I see something. So time is very difficult. Well, I also need, before I start this reading, to concentrate for a few moments on the crystal ball. And after that, we'll see if we're gonna find something. So please just give me a few moments, and soon we'll begin. For the country of Canada. Glasses on, and let's see if we can find something. Well, the first thing I saw was, let's see, around Victoria Island, Baffin Bay, Baffin Island, the northern area. And I see the seawater covered with ice, and suddenly the ice cracks and out comes submarines that have not been expected. So some kind of strange activity with submarines in the waters around northern Canada. And they are like in a stealth position. I cannot see the nationality of those submarines, but they are like doing some, we could call it research, undercover. Also in the northern parts of Canada, I see big gatherings of whales. More than usual. Could be, I'm not so familiar about whales in the northern Canada, but I see big groups of many whales swimming around, and scientists and biologists are gonna be a little bit stunned that there are so many in that specific area, and that is very unusual. I also see that the Canadian people will join more together for a common goal. And the common goal is to change everything in politics. I don't see Canada becoming the 51st state of the USA, since Canadian people are very proud of the country and they want to remain Canadian, not a state of United States. Remain Canadian with their own rules, with their own government, but there will be a total change in politics in Canada. Mr. Trudeau have done all what he could by following his puppet master's agenda, trying really to destroy and take over Canada from inside. And a lot of Canadians are extremely tired of what is happening in Canada right now. There will almost be like Canadian revolution, sort of Canadian Trump, someone that will do whatever he can for the Canadian people to improve their lives. And Mr. Trudeau will disappear. I see him almost greenish in the face, and that will be through illness, so he will feel very sick. And whoever was controlling Trudeau, I see that puppet master gone. And Trudeau's gonna feel, even if he said he will resign, but he's still there. And until there will be new candidates, it will take some time. He's still playing some dirty tricks. But he will not remain for so long. Canadian patriots are working together with patriots from USA to help the Canadian people to regain their sovereignty and pride and a better way of living than it has been the last years. Some very strange weather in mountain area here in the east, somewhere in the east. Rain and snow and avalanche and mudslides, and people can get hurt. But I also see the Canadian people joining together and help the victims of that natural catastrophe. I don't see that being man-made. It's something that happened in that area. Yeah. And that could be this winter or early spring. Sometime there. And the trucker movement will gain force again, but this time in a different way. So people who have been engaged in the trucker movement a couple of years ago, they will come back with triple, quadruple force, and really this time have the people with them. When the whole government change, because it will change completely, total different way to govern Canada. There will be very friendly relationship with the United States. I see commerce, I see an easy way to cross from country to country. And I repeat, I don't see Canada as the 51st state of USA. And a lot of illegal immigrants will also be sent away from Canada. Maybe not as quick and as tough as in the States, but still there will be a lot of departures from Canada. And state after state after state, I see on the news corruption, this happened, this happened, this happened. So a lot of revelations of political misconduct, political abuse, and truth coming up. And a lot of people will be shocked, many not. There will also be like you call it rebirth of tourism to Canada. People from all over the world will seek to visit Canada for its beauty in nature and the friendly Canadian people. The indigenous people of Canada, First Nation, they will also join together, and there is some big protest coming from them. Yeah. And I'm not sure when, but I see a lady, woman, from some tribe of First Nation people becoming the leader of Canada. I'm not sure if this time, but it's still quite soon in time. And as I said, the political relationship between the States and Canada will improve dramatically when there comes a new government in Canada. And many heavy, extremely dirty secrets on Mr. Trudeau's will be officially shown. I say Trudeau's, I guess you know who I'm talking about, but sometimes I have to use code words or code names for certain things. Yeah. a lot of agendas will be stopped quite soon regarding Canada. Agendas, political agendas that have been quite ridiculous or heavy on the Canadian people. And that will improve the economy, the environment. With that political change, I see also the nature, wildlife grow and blossom. More salmons in the rivers, more bears, deers, elks, whatever you're gonna. It's like nature itself rebirths and will blossom much more. And Canadian farmers will also notice their crops gonna get bigger and more nutritious. There could be an explosion in Vancouver. Somewhere in the center of Vancouver, because I see that place like heavy guarded and burned. Something there. Yeah. And who and what was behind it will come up. So there will not be any cover-ups, and the truth will really come up. And all those injustices, all that injustice that happened during the trucker convoys and trucker protests in Canada will also be reviewed, and whoever was against that protest, whoever did strike down on those peaceful protesters, all this will come up, and there will be some very hard punishments on those people involved in stopping that peaceful protest. Let's see. I can see something more. The person that will be after Trudeau in like Prime Minister will not stay that full term. He will be replaced by someone else. So, it will go quite smooth and natural, according to the people's will. The majority, and a big majority. In Ottawa, there will be built a memorial, a statue or something that will be for the trucker convoys. And I also see a change in the Canadian dollar. Could be different value, better value, or a different look on the banknotes. It will look different. And on the east coast of Canada, there will be a lot of drone sightings, UFO sightings, a lot of activity. And above Nain, Newfoundland, Labrador, that area, there could be a couple of earthquakes. Could become quite shaky. And in the Hudson Bay, I think I'm not sure when, could be this winter, but somewhere in spring also, a big storm will sweep down, because I see big waves in the Hudson Bay, waves that can sweep a little bit in on the coasts along the coastline. Very strong winds, very high waves. Many arrests will happen in Canada. People that had committed crimes against humanity and big crimes against the Canadian people. Because I see in big cities, even in outside the cities, police force, secret service of some kind, making raids on houses and taking out people in handcuffs. And many of those people are people on high positions or have been involved in crimes against the Canadian people. Symbolically, I see from coast to coast as a symbol, Canadian people holding hands one with each other, forming a chain from east to west, symbolizing that they will stand together as one and help each other. Doesn't matter where you come from, how you look, and so on. Like a union, strong union in the hearts of the Canadian people. The Northern Territories, Great Bear Lake, Yukon there, Beaufort Sea. I see a helicopter going down, military helicopter. It's going to be hit by something, but it's not a missile or bomb. It like clash into something in the air, and it's not a bird. It's something very strange, and it's going to go down, and the pilot's going to have because the people on that military helicopter gonna survive, but they're gonna tell some very, very strange stories and on what hit them. Yeah, good business deals between US and Canada gonna be written. Well, now I'm gonna take some cards on Canada. And Canadian oil, because I see oil coming up from the ground, is gonna flow a lot. And the so-called Green Deal will be closed down in Canada too. And when the woke agenda will be exposed more and more in the States, that will also affect Canada. So all this craziness regarding the woke agenda will also disappear. For Canada. And finally, some dice. Very nice cards. Well, the cards, they look like this. Let's see what we got here. In the tarot cards, we have the World, Queen of Wands, Three of Cups, Queen of Swords, and Six of Swords. On the Oracle cards, we have Distant Horizons, Joy and the Light, Open Your Heart to Joy, the Snake, Rest After Labor, and a star, or stars. On the dice we have texting, messages, a lion, and accordion. Play like this. Yeah. Okay. These cards, they confirm that they're gonna be a female leader. And this female leader, she will be a very strong woman. And I strongly believe that she will belong to the First Nation. We have the World. Those who were there from the beginning. Yeah. And when she comes, she will bring a lot of joy. She will be firm and mean what she say. Not like one day she say something, the next day she say something else. No, she will be very firm in her words and keep her promises. Strong like a lion. And she will attack the snakes. She will completely expose them and eliminate them. And show officially what they have done. Yeah. And they will not be able to come back and break down Canada again. Yeah. And it seems like this lady, this new leader, she will have some extraordinary powers given to her. Or she will be able to see things, hear things, like psychic abilities, or that will be something very natural to her. And she will be able to unite the Canadian people for a common goal to get rid of those evil ones, those snakes. At the moment it may seem as something distant, something, well, not from this timeline or maybe in 100 years, but things may change quite quickly, and she can become a leader sooner than expected. And a totally new tune will be played, and everybody will talk about her, and she will be very, very loved by the Canadian people, just because the only thing she wants to do is to help the nation, help the people to have better lives. I don't see anything evil in her. Could even be that she doesn't want a prime minister's salary. She could even only take 1/3 of it, and rest of her salary she will give away for those in need. Very special lady. Okay, let's take some last cards for Canada and see if there are any last words to be said. Some last words for Canada. And some dice. Well, the last cards, they look like this. In the tarot cards, we have Page of Coins, Four of Swords, and Six of Coins. On the Oracle cards, we have Gift, we have the Wheel of Fortune, and we have Circuits, Root, Perception. On the dice, we have a figure hanging from some metal bar, a rainbow, and sucker. Well, these cards, they tell that the rainbow agenda will be put on hold. There will be given very little or almost none money to that thing. Yeah, what people want to do in their bedrooms, private, it's up to them, and nobody will be forced into any rainbow agenda. That will be put stop to that. The economy in Canada will also be circuits route. It will be like turned over, and money will be given where it really needs, not in some strange projects or making rich people even richer. It will be put into Canada and into the Canadian people's needs to improve their lives. So the Wheel of Fortune also tells there is a new beginning for Canada, and a lot of gifts, good gifts, are coming. But strange agendas will be put on hold or laid down, non-existing. Yeah. And I still don't see in these cards that Canada will be like a satellite state or the 51st state of the United States. No, I don't see that. Well, that was my update for Canada. And to all of you warm-hearted, beautiful, lovely Canadian people, stay strong, fight for your rights, and I see a new future rising for you, future with more balance and common sense and a prosperity for the Canadian people. And a lot of things will change when the right person comes as President, Prime Minister of Canada. Well, that was everything for today. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and hopefully we're gonna see each other soon. Bye bye.